Alright, boys. This is the commentary run for Brelshaza. Normal 1-6, boys. I'm going in with the swiftness bard. Obviously, I don't have the best spec, but 1500 swift is enough. The commentary is going to be based on the major mechanics and the basic thought process of a bard. The last one I did with my gunslinger, I try to talk as much as I can, but I think we missed some information. So putting that in mind, maybe I will just put in some input on how a bard thinks, how a support thinks, how I usually think. So this guy, what's important is later on, he's going to have a stagger. So right here, so he does a stagger. You have to do the stagger. Why? Because if you fail the stagger, this guy is going to cast an AoE CC to everyone else. And then they're going to be feared for about 2-3 seconds. And what happens if they get feared by 2-3 seconds? Remember the orb mechanic in the sadness room? They automatically eat that, and it's going to chain like a domino effect, and everyone's going to die if that happens. Okay, we're back. So we restarted the whole thing. In this particular, we're at the sadness room this time. So what do you do in the sadness room? The jelly comes out over here. We call it the Maigumis, right? The Maigumis come out. So what you do is, as a support, you're always going to kite this, and while kiting it, use your sound vibration, right? Oh, that was close. Use your buckshot, because that's a destruction. So his destruction is already done because the class we have is Sork over there. Not bad. So you notice how the vision is darkened, right? When a vision is darkened, the other room, which is the erosion room, is failing the CC. And what CC is in this middle tower, it's a big tower. He channels an attack. And what happens is, if you don't CC him, what's going to happen is it casts darkness, and it stacks up to 5 times. If it's 5 times, you can't really see anything. No. So when you think it's about to be finished, so we're in the last room. You can see the mini map, right? We're in the last room, and then I have 3 bubble, right? Sometimes you want to save 3 bubble. So what you do is you do your 3 bubble here, and then you cast your Symphonia, because most people are going to be at low HP, and then you heal them as well, right? That's the perfect combination that you can do to save your teammates here, because most teammates will be low HP. So that electric field turned into the red one is because this guy smashed it with a hammer. Now what you need to do is, as a support over here, you're kind of walking around. Oh, you see the electric field over here? Use your guardians in here too, right? And then you have to delete some of this, because sometimes if these things stay here for too long, they turn into like a tar, like a purple tar, and what they do is they just straight up kill you. And this is where they do the counter. You walk around. You use a Zena here because it's very important to delete all the ads that spawn. And the reason why they couldn't counter is because obviously they were blocked by the Zena's effect, so they missed the counter. But I'm pretty sure they're not gonna miss the counter here, right? But gate 1 is very simple. Gate 1, just do the counters very easily, right? You have to circle around. If you succeed the counter, you just go away, and then trust your teammates to do the counters. But sometimes, if you're doing it for the first time, it's pretty tough. So when a gate 2 starts, you press it. Now the laser is going to come out. So check this out. The yellow laser is going to come out, and whoever's going inside needs to get that laser, and then he gets in. Okay. Now outside's a little bit different. All you need to do is just fight the head, and you're fine. And then he gets down, and when he's knocked down, inside is knocked out as well. So if outside party is strong, the inside is going to have an easier time. So first gimmick starts. There's going to be 3 orange balls spawning here. If you eat 2 of these, you're going to die. What you have to do is 3 people will need to stand on these cards. You guys have to practice this actually. If you get hit by these projectiles twice, you're going to remove that. You're going to get your buff removed. So you got 3 people there. 3 people are going to stand on inside this magic circle to delete these cards. Why is this important? So in normal, you don't have to worry about it. But in hard, if you don't remove all 3 of them, you're going to wipe. And when this thing starts, 2 people are going to get the blue magic circle and the red magic circle, and the rest of them need to eat one of the purple orbs. If you eat 2, you die, and then you stand on the corresponding color afterwards. That's the other mechanic. That's the second mechanic. This happens because if inside is fast, the outside mechanic happens much faster. If that makes sense for you guys. When you are a support, you want to take a battle item, preferably like destruction bomb or whirlwind bomb, because the problem is it takes you a little bit longer to kill the stuff. So sometimes I also take sound holic. I take it this way. Because I kind of let the other guys counter for me, or I can use a Prelude of Storm to counter. Using Prelude of Storm to counter is not that recommended, and the reason why is because you kind of use this for gauge gain. So the problem is in Gate 3, most people get despaired from here because Gate 3 tends to be very hard for newcomers. Not just because of the normal attacks too, and the normal attack itself does a lot of damage too. So when you're in this case here, when this particular mechanic starts, using your Rhapsody is very good because it's a huge AoE attack. Okay, so go to your position, times 3 plus 1. Do your quick time. Cleanse works as well. So if you're playing like a Gun Lancer, as soon as you notice the other players get caught, you can use your cleanse to do that, break freedom. And then when the screen darkens, you have to look the shape here. Look here, look here. It's star. You have to feed her the star and go times 3 plus 1. Because you need 2 people per each buff. That's why everyone's divided into 2. And this is where you can, it's a good time to do your 3 bubble here, but I don't have it. So after this mechanic, she's going to disappear and she will do the mechanic. Now you go to your position here. You the star spawned, right? Diamonds will spawn as well. So this is what I do sometimes. See, I use 2 battle items just to destroy it. Sometimes it's so far away that you can't kill it in time. What's going to happen is you're going to die. So when it reaches 0, you need to go to times 3 plus 1. You stand on the scythe, and then you look closely to see where the blue spirit comes out. So the blue scythe comes out here. And then when you eat it, you always go clockwise, guys. You always go clockwise after your first initial stuff. Because how it spawns is it goes against it like that. So when this thing spawns over here, it spawns on this side, and it will spawn this side, and it spawn this side, right? That means I have enough time to walk over here like this. When the 4th gate starts, you always, as a party leader, you want to distinguish colors. So what I usually do is first party is green, white, and then I do red, blue. And the reason why I do this is because, you know, the party color itself is green, so it's easy to remember. You always want to distinguish colors, guys. Guys, 1, 2, green, and then 3, 4, white. What does this mean? If you press M, go downstairs, this is the map. This is the map that has, you have to look at the mini map. If you look at the mini map, this raid becomes significantly easier. So you need, when you see the yellow mechanic, there's a huge wall in the middle. You have to spacebar over it. If you walk over it, you're going to get feared. So he's going to destroy it. You see it? Destroy the ball. And then this Sork is going to eat it. We have to go inside and then stagger like this. If you don't stagger in time, it's a wipe. The reason why the buff needs to be here is because your stagger strength goes up when you're inside the buff, when you're inside the platform. Long time ago, people couldn't figure that out. That's why it was so hard to stagger. Now that it is, it's good. Now in this particular projectile, right, it is the support's job to tank the hits for them. That's why I said when we talked about heavy armor, right? I said that heavy armor could have been good because sometimes supports will need to take hits for them. And this is one of the gates that it needs to. And then 124, the next mechanic comes out. This is where you need to go to your designated spot and stagger the cube. If you don't have enough stagger, you die, right? There you go. And then you gather up in one spot. You can land your sound vibration. And you can actually free them while you're doing your time mechanic. It's a good tip. So blue again, what's blue, right? Go to your designated color, right? I'm green, so I'm going to stay on the green side. If you stay on the green side, if you just look at the minimap, go, oh, where am I? Where am I? If you pre-position yourself, you're never going to have a problem doing the mechanic. What people do is they never look where they are, and then when the mechanic happens, they just get their brain frozen, and then they never get to the spot early enough, and then they just die. So I'm just chilling out here, right? Just giving the buffs, so I don't fuck up, right? and the cube comes out. When the bar comes out, you need to use your skill. So sometimes what people do is they mess up because they don't wait until the bar comes out. Do the quick time event, right? And then you break it. You see the laser? See where it goes? The laser is stationary. This is where, so when do you use your 3 bubble, right? This is the time you could use your 3 bubble too. But I think he's going to phase. So when he phases, he's going to go on DR, right? So you gotta watch out on those DRs. So if you don't know when to use your 3rd bubble for DPS, usually you want to use it on heal. Like 1 bubble heal, 1 bubble heal, 1 bubble heal. And since this is a mechanic here, right? When a mechanic starts, make sure you give your Symphonia as well. Look. Because this is pretty hard to dodge for some people. Because if you forget it. Because some people use time stop as well. But if you have that Symphonia there, right? If you have that Awakening, you have that big fat shield, they'll be able to live. And take some hits. Yep. And then the stagger mechanic is done. So you just need to stagger until the dial is done, right? And then you be home free. So this will be done. This will be the finished thing. Oh, this is also another good example. Like, you know, there's a bunch of projectile spawning, right? Let's say there's a gunslinger or like a really a fragile player. You will need to stand on front of them and then make sure you use your, you know, Rhapsody, your Guardian Tune to take some hits for you. Take some hits for them. Do the mechanic here. W S. Huh? Someone died, but I didn't die. So it's supposed to be a deathless try, but deathless failed. So as a support, you have either a choice of Dark Bomb or Whirlwind. If you think that you guys don't have enough DPS, which is usually the case, because most people are busy trying to dodge. So Dark Bomb's a good idea, but we are in the experienced party. It's not that. It's okay. Okay, so as at the start, you always wanted the 3 bubble there and then give full synergy, right? The full burst. Now, as a support, you are just keep gathering up. You want to use your Rhapsody when you see this happening, and this thing over here as well. You want to use your pushback skills as well. And whenever you get this. So whenever you see this cones, right, it's actually a really good idea to use your Guardian Tune, because you see that if you get hit by those cones, you get rooted. But if you get Guardian Tune, you're immune to CC for a bit, right? So you want to time that. That's also why on the tripod, someone like me or Lustboy have quick cast. So as a support here, just stay around in the outside spot, just dodging. And the last stop is 144 lines. That's why people are pinging. Make sure you ping as well when you guys are doing a tri-party. Like when someone sees 144, just do like a danger ping, saying like, oh, it's last stop. Make sure you get your shapes ready, right? Make sure you get your shapes ready, or if you don't, you're going to wipe. So you go ×3 on the first mechanic, on the first shape. So you see this here. The shape appears at the black the black shape player, which is party 2. And then you can stay a little bit in the corner too. And after you place the shape, you can stay in the middle. So you see this. So my tip over here is I kind of like move around like this, right? If you move around back and forth, you can kind of see the laser coming down, right? So you kind of know if it's you. Sometimes you stand still or try to dodge. You don't know you're the shape or not, because you're grouped with a bunch of people. So that's what I usually do. Just move back and forth, and you can know that it's you immediately. Now, we're going to use this Anana stuff. What you need to do is there's a counter in the top and the counter in the bottom. And there's an Inanna mechanic too. So Inanna here, if you use Inanna, it would be safe. You'd be safe in the middle, right? And then you do the middle stagger. There you go. We're good. So what you do there is you see the platform light up. It was right, left, and then middle, right? So what you do is you stagger right, you stagger left, and then you stagger middle. And if you're party 1, you go to the left cube. And what left cube is you need to eat 3 orbs each. These stuff. 1, and then you see a light up on the middle. And if it's 10 bars, you need to stagger. If you fail this stagger, okay, we didn't fail it. Nice. Because if you fail it, it's a wipe. Because there's not enough orbs for everyone. So when it's around 4 bars, always stay around the gate, because when this guy dies and you don't go out in time, you pressing G, you get stuck in there, and then you have to restart because you need all 8 people alive here. Okay, nice. Just eat one shape. So an idea is, let's say I'm a circle, right? It's kind of troll if I eat the shape first, because people who got a higher level of shape will need to eat first, because there's only a limited amount of shape, and then people tend to make mistakes as well. And you have to prioritize shapes first instead of doing DPS. So it's going to be very hectic, because this, she does a bunch of mechanics. So she's doing Medusa here, right? She's doing a bunch of Medusas, right? Bunch of shapes going, and you gotta dodge all these lasers. So it's very, very, very hectic. So to organize that just a little bit for you is do shapes first. And when particles gather up like that, this is called the white mechanic. She explodes, and then she creates 3 safe spots, and you gotta go inside the safe spots. If you can't, you have to use your time stop, or you're going to die. It's a very high damage. Okay, now sometimes you use Azana, sometimes you use Shandi, but I'll show you what Shandi does. If I use my awakening here, I can use my awakening again, because Shandi resets your cooldown once and then has a decrease of cooldown, and it slows down Brelshaza very, very much. So when your Symphonia is over, you can use Symphonia again. So in this thing here, this thing explodes, it's going to die. So that Gunlancer may die if he gets hit. Nope, he didn't get hit, he dodged it, nice. So there you go, if you get hit by this, you die. There you go. And then you just need to fight her, and then you finish her off. So at that point, the second shape, people can die after the second shape. However, before the second shape, almost all 8 people need to be alive, or you will need to restart over and over and over and over. So when you're doing gate 6, you want to take the dark grenade here, and you want to take the buckshot, and you want to take the Prelude of Storm too. You need a counter here. And then when she teleports over there, I didn't really use the Esther because we do a lot of damage. This is when the meteor starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm number 6. So we stay over here. This is kind of a strategy that the Korean pugs made. And when the platforms are destroyed, what happens is, if you have more than 3 platforms get destroyed, what happens is you wipe. So you need to make sure to calculate the blue meteors as well. The blue meteors drop about 1 minute after impact, and yellow meteor drops after at a certain time HP line, and it's about 137. Okay, and this part is someone gets the pepperoni, and you gotta stay inside, and a certain amount of people need to be inside to negate the damage. There's only 2 people, so it might explode. There you go. That's why you kind of use your guardian too. And the blue meteor came in because it's been a minute already, right? So so we do 5, 6, 7. So if you're a raid leader, you have to call. Let's drop it at 5, 6, 7. But the thing is, most pugs in Korea, everything is kind of scripted. Everyone knows what to do, so we just do it. Because within a certain minute, we push DPS. Within a certain minute, we push DPS. Within a certain minute, we push DPS. But if you're doing a tri-party, your DPS is random. So you need to make sure where to put the next meteor, like how you guys do the bingo. You guys gotta plan it from start to finish of the raid, right? There you go. And then when you drop it to 112, you start this thing called the chanmi, right? The chanmi starts, and then the background music starts, like the crazy one. There you go. I turn the background music for you. The little ooh thing that you do, someone's spinning over there. So you see this? It generated 1 minute 40 seconds. We calculate this all the time. And this is going to be random if your party is lacking DPS. So it's going to be very, very, very hard. Now, to dodge the 2 spots. When she lifts up his hand, spacebar away. Go to your position, times 3 plus 1. If you're a raid leader, cast Shandi as soon as she casts the black orb. Why do you cast Shandi? Because Shandi slows time. Therefore, the orbs that comes in, these orbs come slower. These orbs come slower, guys. Okay? Yep. And then if you eat 2, you have to eat 2 to survive. If you don't eat 2, you're dead. You can eat only 1 if you want to go to the black orb. So I'm inside again. So my gunslinger one, I was inside. That's unfortunate because I kind of wanted to show you the outside. So 4 players go outside and then 4 players go inside. And then you just have to eat the buff and then you're done. You either counter or you either stagger. You can tell by outside, but most people just pings it because they don't have enough time. Okay? Basically, if she spins clockwise or counterclockwise, you can tell if it's a stagger or a counter. So 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock again. So I'm at 6 o'clock here. So when you're a bard, you got your buckshot ready. You always get your buckshot ready, right? She's doing the stagger now. So you press it out. You always want to start Prelude of Storm. If you have Vital Point, she can actually die. You can actually do the stagger mech with 1 Prelude of Storm. That's why sometimes I recommend Vital Point, because it makes this mechanic so much easier. If you fail the stagger, the blue meteor drops, and then if that blue meteor tends to break the floor, that initiates a wipe too. That's why you want to, what do you call it? Succeed the mech. So when you see these red gloves, you never want to get hit by that. See this red, yellow here? So when you see that red glove, always see if she's doing that stupid yellow mechanic. Okay? There you go. Always cast your Guardian Tune whenever she does a rooting attack. Okay? The blue meteor drops. People are going to separate it. Just don't break it. So when raid leader said don't break it, just drop it on a spot that is not glowing. As in, this is a glowing tile. If your tile glows, it will break after 1 more hit. If it doesn't go, if it becomes like a yellow thing, it won't break after 1 more hit. Okay? And you can use your Guardian Tune as well. You can wait a little bit. This is not a DPS time. When it's not a DPS time, it's a good time to fill up your identity gauge. And when they come out with the black orb, you can cast your 3 bubble afterwards. So yellow thing here, yellow warning signs. Good thing that we see a lot of this pattern. Look at that. He got hit. He died. He used the time stop. He didn't use the time stop. He died. That's how it works. That's 1 hit KO every time, guys. Like, that thing kills so many people. That thing kills so many people. Okay, this is a counter, see? She does that. Oh, this is the internal cooldown. So you gotta watch out for the internal cooldown. But that was the actual counter timing. And then when she fires 3 orbs like that, you get sent to the other dimension, and then Shandy is going to save you here. This is really bad because when you're sent to the other dimension, what the problem is, the yellow meteor is not going to spawn, so the blue meteor is going to spawn again. That's the shitty part. Now the blue meteor spawn again, what am I going to do? I'm going to place it on an empty spot right here, so that I don't break any tile. If you break a tile, you're trolling, because this particular gate 6, if you fail to control your tiles, you get banned immediately, at least for the experienced party. You have to, whatever you do, you always want to control your blue meteor, whatever you do. Because don't do DPS. Who cares if you do millions of DPS? If you fail 1 meteor, it's a wipe, right? That's why whenever you see someone failing a meteor, they immediately get banned. Oh my fucking... Ooh! That was close. So this is it's a hard pattern. Okay, use your Symphonia. And then you're done. You're done here. You're done. Just push to 0 and then you're done. Let's see what she does. Using 3 bubble here now. This is a Bence. This is called Bence. This is kited. If this Bence hits you, you're dead. So you see this. So you see how I got hit by that, and then I got rooted, right? You always want to use your Guardian Tune when you see that kind of pattern. Okay, she's going to do a counter. Everyone died except us. Okay, there we go. So in this case, I'm alone, but you know, you can practice. So this is the thing, you need to gather up here. You see the tethering, right? Always stand still. It's better to stand still. It's better to stand still. The yellow marking there. Yellow marking again. Nice dodge. Always pay attention. Counter. Okay. Let's look at the pattern again. See, smash. Okay, let's see what she does. She's drawing a pattern. DPS time right here. I like how I can show you more examples here, because there's only 3 people left. Because this is how a tri-party will actually feel like. You're pushing this long. So here, let's go to the middle. I want to be in this thing right here. There you go. Nice time stop. You see that? I'm gonna spam that time stop. Okay, I'm gonna use a Zena now. And then you can finish with a Zena if you want to. I think a Zena does about 10 bars. There you go. Finished. And this is how most tri-parties will finish. This is exactly how my tri-party finished. Finished with a Zena. Good example. I like how I could show you guys the example here, because this would be the actual process that would have happened if you go to a tri-party that was on item level players. I told the more of the important mechanics. I focus on the more important mechanics, because those are what it causes the wipe. For example, blue meteor, very important. Okay, blue meteors are very, very important. Like, if you have a blue meteor on top of you, either one, follow the raid leader's call, or you throw it on the tile that is empty, like that has 3, or a tile that is safe. You don't want the tile to be glowing to break the tile. If you break the tile, you get an immediate wipe. If there's more than 3 tiles broken in the map, it's an immediate wipe. Therefore, for blue meteor, if you're a blue meteor, you never do DPS. If you see someone doing DPS while in a blue meteor, kick him, because he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, because like that is the #1 reason why people got kicked here, because you got to control your meteor. That is more important than doing DPS. Like, I can't stress this out enough, because you guys will experience people will drop the meteors wrong and wipe every single time. You will wipe over and over and over again. You will never be able to beat this raid ever again if you have someone that can't drop a meteor properly. Everyone needs to drop the meteor properly. I can't stress that enough. That's what I wanted to say every time on the guide as well, because blue meteors are very important and yellow meteors very important too. Because some people do DPS, they don't realize that they have a meteor on top of them. Okay? So that's very important. Just wanted to say that. I just wanted to make sure to stress that out, because that's very important for you if you guys are trying to clear it. Okay, cool. So that concludes the commentary run for Brelshaza normal. So I'm obviously overgeared, and some of the guys were a little bit overgeared. They're like 150, you know, 154 ish. They were like 20 eye levels above most of the players. So the DPS got pushed a little too fast for me to not explain the mechanics enough. But maybe in the future, if you do more commentary on this, I can probably take lower eye level people and explain it along the way. But you know, at the same time, I think we have went through a lot of the things. So I don't think it's as bad. I think you guys learned a little bit. I think you guys learned some of the stuff that is very the focusing stuff, like, you know, the meteors, right? One of the meteors and the yellow warning signs. Those are the most important stuff. And then when the mechanic starts, where should your position be? And all these things, where should you put your eye on to figure out, identify what you're supposed to do, etc. Okay? With that being said, this concludes the video, guys. Bye-bye. Bye, you two frogs.